Hello, everybody, and welcome. We are here for the Formula Racing League Taco Tuesday Season 16 Round 3 event at the Red Bull Ring in Austria. I am looking forward to this one. We are already two races down, four to go in this championship, and it's already starting to get pretty intense. We will dive into the standings and everything in a minute, but this is anyone that's obviously played ACC a lot will know that the Red Bull Ring was the newest addition to the calendar, should we say? Like it was the newest track that they added with along with the GT2s. So I suppose in regards to like lap times and records and history and stuff, this is one of the tracks that still has a lot to offer. I think as well, there's going to be a lot of incidents, I think, if we say, because there's a lot of barriers quite close to the track. There's a lot of when you run off here, you run into gravel, you run into grass and everything. This is what we were saying last week at Paul Ricard, that there was a lot of runoff, so there wasn't a lot of incidents. Whereas here, I think we're going to see a few more crashes and maybe a lot of people going in for. I'll say a lot of people, a few people going in for some damage repairs, etc. And there'll be a lot of questions maybe about do they repair like light damage in the pit stops? Do they not? So yeah, a lot to go by. But as I said, with the calendar here, we have already completed Misano. We went to Paul Ricard last week, and now we are here at the Red Bull Ring. This is one of the standard 60-minute races, one mandatory pit stop for tyres. I think there's like a short pit window, well, not a short pit window, sorry, but there's like 2 minutes either side, start and finish, where you can't pit, or a minute. I think it might be just to stop people from pitting on the last lap. So it should be a straightforward format and race today in that sense. So we should see like I said, varied strategies from people pitting maybe on lap one or lap two, sorry, on people pitting, people pitting probably normally around about the halfway mark, and there'll be some people that do longer stints. So it should provide some entertainment throughout the race. I'm quite looking forward to it. And then next week we head over to Watkins Glen for the second of the two special event races where there's two pit stops, and it's a longer format at 100 minutes rather than 60. And then obviously I said we are at the Nürburgring and then the Nordschleife for the last two weekends. So we are here week 3 of 6. I am looking forward to this one, as I said. If you are joining me on YouTube, please feel free to drop in the chat, come and say hello. I'll talk to you about the race and everything. Throw me some predictions out there. Looking forward to chatting to you guys throughout the race. And then, as I alluded to before, let's have a look at the standings. Now, one thing to take into consideration here, and this is the interest. Well, not it's like the confusing week, should we say? Because after the second race of the season, it would have triggered everyone's drop round. So basically, there are 6 rounds this season, as we've said, but only 5 of them will count towards your points total. So your worst race. So if you've won 5 races and finished second in one of the races, then that second place would be wiped off of your points. So you'll see that although the drivers have their essentially you get 40 points for a win and then 1 point for a fastest lap. That's why you can see Arash at the top of the table with 41 points, but he has actually won 2 races. So technically you'd think he'd have 80, but that's because his race win where he didn't get the fastest lap, that's been wiped off the leaderboard. So I think mathematically, whatever happens today, wherever Arash finishes, he will still be top of the table come week 4. But then after that, it starts to get a bit more interesting. So we'll have to keep an eye on it, like I said, as it goes on. And then we have the other two I said 2 of the 4 main protagonists so far. So Vanden Ham and Lodder, or V-Spec, as we see in the chat there, both on 39 points. And then obviously it's quite tight in the table with Simon King, Radic, Hooper, Grace, Kaspari, and Rogers. All rounding up the top 10. But I do think we're going to see quite a few changes in the order next week, like I said, because then all of a sudden there'll be 2 rounds plus the 1 drop round. And then obviously as the championship progresses, we'll start to get an idea of how everyone's going to pan out. But like I said, I think whatever happens, Arash will be leading the championship at the end of this race, but we will find out a bit closer to the time. And then obviously the other protagonist I was talking about that isn't on the top 10, which is rather surprising, is Zampolini. Now, Zampolini has got pole position in the last 2 races and just unfortunately finished 10th after an incident on the first corner or the second corner of the first lap in round one, and then obviously had an incident that was a talking point after the race with Arash in the last race, which left him, well, his car was smashed a bit, so he was, he retired from that race. So yeah, although he is one of the fastest drivers so far in the Taco Tuesday Season 16 series, he finds himself out of the top 10. So I would say watch out for Zampolini today. He's clearly a man with pace. He'll be one of the drivers to watch today. Like I said, Arash said after the last round that he didn't think he would be the fastest around the Red Bull Ring. So let's see if we can get our first winner that's not Arash in round 3 as well. And then I suppose the question marks are around Van den Ham and V-Spec and things, and seeing what they can potentially do in this third round. Actually, that being said, though, I don't think I saw them in the list earlier on. I presume they're going to come in late potentially, but I know we have a field of 34 drivers today. But I don't know if we saw. I may be wrong, but I don't know if Van den Ham or V-Spec are actually racing in today's race. So they may jump in last minute because it's still in practice. Qualifying doesn't start for another 3 minutes or so. So if anyone in the chat can confirm whether V-Spec and Van den Ham are actually racing today. But either way, I mean, I think they've been on the podium in the last 2 races, along with Arash. So actually, it'd be it'd be interesting to see if both of them aren't racing today. Maybe we'll get some new, well, potentially a new race winner and potentially 2 new people on the podium. So yeah, that's interesting. But obviously, with the drop round, it won't affect them too much because obviously, you can miss one race and it won't affect the championship because of that drop round. That's why they have it. So just heading over again now. So let's have a look at the track guide here. Like I said, some of the records and stuff won't matter too much as such because we haven't done much racing, or Formula Racing League haven't done much racing around Austria. But yeah, this is a 10 corner. I would call it a sprint track because there's 2 really, or 3, quite well, 4. The whole track's just a really long straight. I mean, I imagine you're probably foot to the floor for. You've got to be at least 70% of this lap you've got to be foot to the floor here. So yeah, I expect to see really really aggressive sort of racing, sorry, and there'll be a lot of overtakes, a lot of people sat each other's slipstream. It's it's basically just really fast corners into really sharp braking points and things. So it's going to be a case of people can people get the right lines, can they not scrub their speed too much, how brave are you going to be with the gravels on either side of the track and everything. So there's going to be a lot of factors involved. I know the GT3 lap record in real life is a 1:28.4 as it says here. And then the ACC lap record is held by Friedman with a 1:28.2. I have been told the lap record is the race lap record. It's not the qualifying lap record. So that's something to consider when we look at times as well. But I do wonder if that will be beaten today in the race. I said because of the lack of running they've had here. I think, watch out for some fast times. But a 1:28.2 is the fastest lap to beat. Full pit stop time, including changing tyres, they reckon it's about 1 minute 18 seconds. So you'll be in the pits, let's say, for 1 minute 20. So we've got to take that into account as well. That's the kind of time you're going to lose from the full pit stop. And as you can see from the track map here, it's it's not a lot of corners here, but they're quite fast ones as well. From sector 2 into sector 3, like turns 6, 7, 8, they're really important. It's about when you come around the left hand of turn 6, it's about seeing how fast you can get off the speed, without, because at the right hand side of the turn 6, there's a big gravel trap, so we need to watch out for that one. And then obviously turn 7 and 8, it's I think you have to brake going into turn 7, the left hander there, but then obviously you want to go flat out around turn 8 down into turn 9, and it's about how much speed in the last two right handers, how much speed you can carry through before you obviously go down to the start finish straight. So yeah, expect to see a lot of people pushing their track limits today. We probably will see a few drive-through penalties as such, and I think it's going to be risk versus reward in qualifying. I think you need to go ahead and set yourself a couple of quick banker laps, and then obviously you can start pushing the limits of the car as we go around here. So I think, like I said, the last check, the field was 34 drivers, and I didn't see Van den Ham or V-Spec, so that is interesting. It'd be a shame if neither of them are in the race today, but it'd be good news for everyone else. Like I said, if the two drivers that finished on the podium in the last 2 races aren't available, then that means it's we're going to see some new podium sitters today. See Attender Genie in the chat. How you doing, mate? You are out there, aren't you? I believe. I just always forget what your actual name is. I've always known you as a Tender Genie, but I know you're out there somewhere racing, aren't you? Oh no, actually, yeah, you are. I know you are. You're the Hooper guy. That's. I think you're getting a bit scared now, aren't you, Genie? Because you're looking pretty fast out there. I'm looking forward to seeing what your qualifying times can do. We've just finished practice now, and obviously qualifying is about to start, guys. So I will. Let's go back to the. We'll head over to the main broadcast now. I'm just going to pick the first driver that comes out here, and then we will. So it's a 248. That is Kravex. So let's just ride with him. Okay, we're going to head over to the broadcast now. So as you can see, we're here now. We have 20 minutes of qualifying. It says the track is wet. As you can see, yeah, Kravex hit the curve there, and obviously then goes sliding out a little bit. But by the looks of it, it is saying that it is sunny and cloudy. So I believe the track is wet, but it will shift to a drier track as the qualifying goes on. That's going to be quite interesting, isn't it? So basically, we have a qualifying session that is a wet track that's gone straight to damp. Obviously, the sun is out. It was cloudy skies, but it's obviously overcast, sun and cloud. But what that means is that obviously the track is going to get faster and faster and faster. It's going to go from it's gone from wet, it's gone to damp, it's going to go green, and then it's going to go into fast, and then optimum. So yeah, we're going to see lap times tumble down. It's going to be a case of who can get out there at the latter part of the with about 2-3 minutes to go, and can you set a couple of quick lap times there. So expect to see the lap times quite slow at the start, probably nowhere near the 128 127s we're expecting, and then obviously I think as the you see him going, he's lost it there. He's hit the wall going in around. So there you go. Good to show how wet it is still out there. So on his first flying lap, he crashes into the wall, and that is going to affect him setting his fastest lap right there. So let's switch over to, I think it's the number 65 car, but I can't see who that. Can't see the number 65 on my screen. So I'm not sure who that is. They pulled over as well. We can see, trying to catch one of these drivers. We'll just ride with Heymans here for a minute. So, or Heymans, he is in the 717 Ferrari. So yeah, so the first person that was going to set a flying lap has binned into the wall. So that's not a good start to qualifying. So we'll see how Heyman gets on. He's got yes, this is the first corner we want to talk about here. Let's just switch into the inside camera for now. So this is the actually, we've got the driver along. Let me just get 1 second, guys. Apologies for this. I think there is a driver line on, so I want to get rid of that. There we go. So we'll just ride with him for a second just to explain the lap a little bit as he sets the first flying lap here. But these are the corners I was talking about in a second. So as you can see here, there's gravel everywhere at the minute. So we're coming up to the turn 6 now, which is the left-hander. And this is what I was saying. Obviously, you want to try and take this corner as fast as you possibly can, hit the apex on the left-hand side, and then get on the throttle as quickly as possible. But as you can see, it's all gravel down the right-hand side. And obviously here, you want to scrub as little speed as possible, hit that apex on the left-hand side, and then you want to, again, just put it foot to the floor, straight down. And then obviously, and then you're coming up to the last 2 corners, which is corners 9 and corners 10. This is where you want to, just probably shift down 1 gear and then just hold it as, it's probably 2 actually, sorry. And again, you don't want to go too wide out here because the default your lap, and this is obviously where that incident happened a minute ago. You don't want to attack that too much, so you bounce over onto the left-hand side, but then as you come down onto the start-finish straight, like I said, as you can see, the track is all about not scrubbing speed. So Heyman sets a time which is 1.8 seconds off the fastest time so far, which is a 1:32.7 set by Grace. Now, obviously, it's worth mentioning, like I said, that the times we are expecting should be down in the 28s, but that'll just be, or 27, sorry, but that's just because obviously the track is still damp. So we may not get down there, but depending, obviously, with 60 minutes to go and more cars going out there, we will start to see so that those times go down. Hooper does set the fastest lap now with a 1:32.5. And then that is beaten straight away by our championship leader and our dual race winner, Arash, who then instantly is beaten by Kaspari with a 1:32.1. So I think this is going to be what we're going to expect. You can see him sliding off on the track there. This is going to be what we're going to expect for quite a while now, because obviously a lot of these drivers are just going to keep setting better times, and those times are going to trickle down. So it'll be 1:32s, then it'll be the 1:31s, and the 1:30s, and I think we will slowly creep into the 28s, 27s potentially if the track dries out. But was on his first lap. He goes up into P7. He had a good opening race in that Bentley. We were expecting him to have quite a good race over at Paul Ricard. But unfortunately for him, he just had to retire from that race, and obviously that affected it. But I think obviously he does have a drop round here, so we will see him improve. Hopefully this race again, and obviously move up the leaderboard again, maybe back up into the top 10. As you see Fetzer here in the 7714 Mustang, has he spin around on the last corner there? I think he has he? Oh no, is this Fetzer now? Don't know who that was spinning in the background, but you can see people are still struggling with those damp conditions. I imagine most cars out there are on the dry tyre, so it is obviously just them trying to struggle to get the power down on those last corners. We can see here that Delhi does improve. He's now 2.9 seconds off of the front, so the fastest time is still owned by Kaspari with a 1:32.1. But like we have 14 minutes left, and there will be a lot of time to set better times out here. I thought that was Van der Waal. Okay, no, here's Paulson. So Paulson here coming around the last corner now. He's 1.7 seconds back currently. Can he improve as he comes up to the line? He does improve by 0.2 of a second up into P14, just 0.1 of a second ahead of Jack Prentice here. And then who else is coming around now? Let's have a look. Try and catch some drivers here. Was the 19 car? I'm trying to see that area. That is Simon. Simon here, who was currently P4 in the championship. He has. I don't know if we're seeing a potentially a reset here on the server. So bear in 1 second. We'll just go back to the broadcast booth. Let me just check on our. I'm just looking now, so I see if there's a mention about this. 1 second, sorry guys. I don't know if there's been a server reset, but it's just me. Okay, so yeah, we just had a report back that the server has crashed. So just so let me just I've been kicked out of the server now, so we'll just I'll wait and see what everyone. We might have to restart qualifying in a moment. Obviously, the thing is, it's not, this is the thing you have to deal with on a esports game rather than in real life. Obviously, yeah, you don't have, but I suppose it's the same as like a red flag. I suppose in real life you just have to sit there and wait around. But yeah, unfortunately, there has been a crash on the server itself, so we will wait and see if they can get that back up. Gedman saying, yeah, Gedman was saying, confirming what I was saying there. He said that we should see 127s if it gets dry. Yeah, that's what I did. That's what I did think we would see, but it's just a case of whether the track dried fast enough. Obviously, with the server probably being reset now, I'd imagine we're going to, it might change the weather. So it'll be a case of what weather conditions we have this time. Hopefully, we've been robbed of a little bit of excitement now, I suppose, because obviously what would have happened is, the track would have got faster and faster. And obviously, sometimes with random weather, you don't know what you're going to expect next time round. I'm just seeing what everyone is saying, and I was trying to keep up to date with the announcements here. I imagine, I presume they're just going to reset it because at the minute it's set on 60 minutes practice, and I guess they don't want to run another 60-minute practice session, so I guess they're going to just skip straight to qualifying. So I'm sure we'll have a announcement shortly. What I'll do is to sat around waiting whilst we get everything sorted. I will just end the broadcast here, and then I'll start another one in a moment. So if that's easier for everyone. So I will end the broadcast and come back in a moment.